Well, good morning, guys. Once again, it is I, the chairman. Hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday. As I'm sure a lot of you out there will be making some purchases, I have already done so. I went to Vinegar Syndrome, added a couple new films that I got ordered the Camille Keaton in Italy set. They reissued Don't Answer the Phone in a limited edition slipcover. So I got that. And also I got the yearly subscription package. So even though it's kind of steep, I figure it's worth it if I basically end up selling some of the titles that I don't want to keep. And I figure I can probably make out with that because, I'm paying like 50%. So I make a couple bucks off of each film, and I think I end up making out. So they also have the Dolomite series out, all 4 films, and then you can get a box to hold all 4. So it's not a box set, but it ends up being like it because you buy the 4 films, and they're all $15 each. So it's like $60 for the box. Sorry, $60 for all 4 films, and then the box is also $15. So it's like $75 for 4 films. So in essence, it's de facto a set, and you can think about it that way. So for whatever reason, I thought Dolomite was already out on physical media, but I guess not if Vinegar Syndrome are doing it. So that's one of their new ones that they have just released for Black Friday today. And the two secret titles are actually Ebola Syndrome, which is a crazy Hong Kong film, and Steel and Lace. And when I looked at Steel and Lace, I said, this looks really damn familiar. And I think I probably watched it on Skinemax or like something like way back, because it is totally that. It's Stacey Hyduck and Claire Wren, Bruce Davison, and David Naughton. I mean, it's always got like a pretty interesting cast. And once I saw the pictures, I just knew I had seen this before. So definitely looking forward to that. It's like one of those straight to cable or video store classics that Vinegar Syndrome just likes to dredge up and re-release in nice packages. So that is the standard release. The Ebola Syndrome is in 4K Ultra HD. So that looks really interesting. That haven't seen too many of those Hong Kong like gory horror movies. It's been mostly wuxia or the crime thriller drama type films. So looking forward to seeing that. I already got that in the flash sale, the one that includes Flesh for Frankenstein, Trauma, and Creature. So it's like 5 films altogether in that package. So that'll be coming to me from Vinegar Syndrome. So want to go over first what I've been watching. So my son and I went through and watched Godzilla vs. Kong. Just skipped through the fight scenes because it's really the only reason to watch this film, because the rest of it's kind of it is what it is. But yeah, even though I don't have a full Atmos setup, this film definitely thumps in terms of the audio. I mean, it's pretty substantial. So I can just imagine what a fully maxed out Atmos setup with like 10 speakers and like you have the height speakers all around, what it'd sound like. So yeah, I mean, looked great, sounded great. So it's something one if you haven't gotten, I would say it's a reference for audio. So yeah, pick it up if you haven't. The other film I watched was I had gotten this a while back, Witching and Bitching, 2013 film by Spanish cult director Alex de la Iglesia, and he's famous for Perdido Durango and Day of the Beast, which just came out this year on 4K from Severin. And so this is the back of that. So this slipcover was exclusive to Diabolic DVD, but the film itself is actually from released by IFC Midnight. And so this film is kind of like a takeoff or rather an influence on various other bank robbers or thieves on the run films like Rabid Dogs, From Dusk Till Dawn. It has that feel. Um, the robbery gets botched, and then they have to. There's two guys. Well, it started out as more, but those guys either got killed or arrested. So it ended up being two guys. They rob a jewelry store, and then they commandeer a taxi, and then the one guy, Jose, brings his son along because it's his day to have custody of his son, because he shares custody with his ex-wife. So of course he brings his son along, and all sorts of hilarity ensues, and there's a lot of conversation back and forth. It's it's very Tarantino-esque where they're talking a lot, and then they end up in this town which is like a witch's coven, and then they end up getting captured by the witches, and they're going to be sacrificed by the witches so that they can bring about the return of their witch goddess. So there's a lot of interesting parallels between the men essentially talking shit about women almost all the time, and the fact that the witches are all, of course, female and hating on men. So there's this little interesting theme of like the battle of the sexes, and about how men think of women as being witches or bitches, and then it turns out that in reality they actually then have to contend with and fight real witches. So that's part of the reasoning behind, I guess, the title "Witching and Bitching" is that the witching part refers to the real witches, and the bitching is the complaining that the men do about women. And it's not just the bank robbers. It's these two cops, these two like kind of buffoonish cops who chase after them, and all they do is they just bitch about like the one guy's wife and the other guy's girlfriend and stuff like that. And it's funny because there's a little twist about what happens to them in the end. But so this film actually looked really good for a Spanish film. Had really interesting CGI. Some of it was a little questionable. I mean, it's 2013, so I don't know what kind of budget obviously he had, but he did really well with what he did, and for the most part, it was pretty convincing. So yeah, I have no idea where else this film is available, but it is pretty interesting. Now the girl here is Carolina Bang, Spanish actress. She's actually married to Alex Iglesias. But they got married a year after this film, so I don't know if they were already dating or something. But yeah, I mean, if you, she's really striking looking. She has like these huge eyes, and she is pretty much the best looking person in the film. So if you're a fan of Carolina Bang, but she's probably only been in Spanish films, according to IMDb. So but still, worth checking out. Probably can still find it on a Diabolic's site, and I don't know where else this is available. So, interesting film. It's pretty fun. I feel like it could have been 20 minutes shorter, just because like a lot of the dialogue is just them bitching to each other, and a lot of that dialogue could have all been cut out, and then you still would have gotten the same story. So really, it was a creative choice on the part of De La Iglesia to include all the dialogue, because I'm sure he wanted the dialogue in there to kind of set up the whole dynamic between the different characters, and then setting up the stakes, and then what happens afterwards. So it was still only an hour and 54 minutes. So maybe it could have been an hour and 45. Who knows? It could have been a little more streamlined, but it still wasn't. It still wasn't a dragging movie, or felt overly long, or slow, so just possible that they could have cut out 10 to 15 minutes and it made it a little bit more of a faster moving film. So got in two recent films I hadn't watched before. The Kingsman series, Kingsman Secret Service and Kingsman The Golden Circle. Got this from Amazon. They were both $9.99, so it's part of their $9.99 4K sale. So my son and I watched this, and they're interesting. They're obviously on on the sillier side, on the less believable side. I mean, very not believable. But there's definitely a Matthew Vaughn aesthetic going on here. And if you don't like his films, maybe these films won't be for you. I mean, I wasn't like super into them because the CGI was kind of ropey. You could definitely tell it was not going for extreme verisimilitude or extreme reality when it came to the use of CGI. It was very glossy. They weren't trying to make it look realistic. I mean, we're not talking about Denis Villeneuve levels of integration of effects into real scenes here. They weren't going for that, obviously. But one thing I did like was that, like, the whole influence on the tailoring and the clothes. I was really interested by that because, I've always had an interest in men's fashion and tailoring bespoke clothing. So it was pretty cool that they really emphasized that using the Kingsman tailor shop as their front. And I know they're coming out with a third film. It's not even in production yet. The Kingsman, which is the prequel, was supposed to come out but got delayed by the pandemic. So that, I guess, will be obviously like a prequel. So it'll be set, I think, during World War II times, or maybe even earlier. So it won't obviously have the level of technology and any of the characters in these films in that film, but it will at least try to evoke the same world feeling the same feeling of the world established in these two films, but to give it a historical context as to how things ended up looking the way they did in the two Kingsman films. So I look forward to looking at that, to checking that out. But like I mentioned, these are part of the $9.99 set. The $9.99 4K deals that Amazon had, and I have a few others. Oh, but first, I did get the Mohawk Drive 4K from Criterion, and this is a very nice looking set. We have inside, we got a book, and this contains mostly an interview, an article and interview with David Lynch, the director. For the most part, this whole book is that. And it just has pictures in between. I'm not a super David Lynch fan. I do have Wild at Heart. I've actually been watching through that. I'd watched that before. I've never seen Mulholland Drive, so looking forward to giving that a watch. And this is one of Criterion's first 4K releases. I guess we kind of know, or we should all be familiar now with a little bit of the debacle going on with Citizen Kane. They have created a replacement program for the Blu-ray of Citizen Kane. There was a problem with the video transfer of the Blu-ray. The 4K itself is fine. So this is the inside of the film. I haven't watched this yet, so because I have such a large number of other things to watch through, and I'm trying to be a good boy and watch older things first, because if I just watch all the newer stuff, I'll never get to the older stuff. So trying to do that. Otherwise, it's just gonna, I'll never watch the old stuff. But then I also got new this year, The Green Knight. So this is already so this is an example of like how you want to wait for Black Friday or sales, because this is already $9.99 4K of a new for this year film. So don't spend money early on. Don't buy things early on unless you really want it. It's like I'm still debating even whether I want to get the 4K of Shang-Chi now, because I'm not sure those Disney 4Ks, they don't seem to drop in price too quickly. And then early next year, I mean, there's no like sales as such, so I'll probably still get it, but I'll have to see. because I'm trying to get New Mutants, but for whatever reason, even though I'm supposed to get 60% off of the second title on Disney Movie Club, it just never works. So I'm going to have to call those guys just to find out what the heck's going on. Because I've tried this several times now, where I've tried to add New Mutants after I added my featured title, and the price doesn't go down. It's supposed to go down to the discount, but it worked for other things. So why is New Mutants? There must be a glitch in the system, because I can't believe that New Mutants won't go down in price, but like Speed will. So I don't get it. So then I mentioned that I actually rebought Snatch and Last Action Hero and returned the ones I got previously because they dropped. So like I said, keep an eye out on these deals, because if you bought something earlier before, and if it was after October 1st, and then you can still buy them again. You can return the previous ones and then buy them again and save some bucks. Also got Shawshank, because Shawshank is one of the all-time classics, and this is also one that came out this year, and this is also $9.99. So like I said, another example of why you want to wait around until the sales come. And then also got Gattaca, and like I said, also $9.99. So I have other things coming. I ordered the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Steelbook, which I think was like $13. And then there's also got Fury, which is still coming, the David Ayer film. And I'm not really seeing too much else that has come out now. Amazon released their Black Friday deals on physical media. There really wasn't much at all that interested me. Obviously, nothing I wanted to get. So they might be releasing more things today or over the weekend, because I think technically Black Friday sales are really only this weekend, maybe extending into Monday for Cyber Monday. So if there is anything, it might come out later today or tomorrow. So we'll see. But yeah. Anyway, so that's my review for today, and hope to talk to you guys later. And enjoy the physical media. Hopefully you guys didn't eat too much. I know I ate a lot. Still recovering a bit, so it's going to be a bit of a sleepier day today. And I will talk to you later. Have a good one, and enjoy the physical media. See you.